Can't tell if this light showed on that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Can you see it now? Woo! So tonight I have been, as I said, catching up on some criterions that I left, unfortunately, to the end of the year. Because I was like, I'll get to them. And then, yeah. So I have this set I bought a few years ago called Chantal Akerman in the 70s. And I'd watched the first section, which is the New York films, La Chambre, Hotel Monterey, and News from Home. But I hadn't watched the other two parts, which is Tu Il Elle and Rendez-vous d'Anna. I hadn't watched those two. And I was like, I gotta get into this. And so I've now seen most of Ackerman's filmography, I think, or a good deal of it, maybe. Good deal of it. Because I've seen, what have I seen? I've seen La Chambre, which is her short. And I've seen this, that's 2. I've seen Jean Delmont, that's 3. News from Home is 4. Rendezvous d'Anna is 5. La Captive is 6. So I guess I've seen 6 of her films. As you probably know if you've been following news, she died in October in what appears to be a suicide, which is really devastating. She was 65, and I guess very close to her mother, and her mother had died the previous year, and, things happen, especially with artistic people. There's, being artistic and having a troubled mind tend to go hand in hand. Not always, but often, It's a story for a lot of artists. Then Ackerman has a very unique point of view and a very precise way of making films that is unlike anything I've seen. I know slow cinema is a genre, but the kind of slow cinema that Ackerman does and the sort of feminist point of view is just unique to her. I think she's just such an amazing artist. And I look forward to catching up on the rest of her films. Although they are not available from the Criterion Collection, I'm not sure how to find them. I'll figure it out. So in Tu Il Elle, it's in 3 parts, kind of 4 parts, because the Je is her, Tu is us, the audience, and then Il is, this is my interpretation anyways, Il is a truck driver, and Elle is an ex-girlfriend. So she spends a third of the film in her apartment rearranging furniture, eating sugar, and writing letters. I've never eaten sugar straight out of a bag. That seems really gross. She then decides to leave her apartment, where she meets a truck driver played by the very young Neil I don't know how to say his last name. Neil Erstrup, who's in like The White Ribbon and various other films by the sea, War Horse. And he was a babe when he was younger, that's all I'm going to say. And then the last third of it, she's with an ex-girlfriend, and she has a meal and then has very, very accurate real-time sex. Some racy lesbian sex. It's quite good. Particularly because it's not eroticized. It just is. It's like you're watching a documentary. It's kind of wonderful. There's not a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of narration. It's all in black and white. It's a very interesting film. It's 86 minutes. Then you have Le Rendez-vous d'Anna, also known as The Meetings of Anna. It's about a woman who could, for all intents and purposes, be Chantal Akerman. It's a filmmaker named Anne who is traveling around West Germany and Belgium promoting a film, although you never see the film that she's promoting. She's a film director. You do see the various hotel rooms that she's in, the various people that she meets with, the meetings, and the various trains and train stations she ends up in. So she meets like a stranger and then tries to have casual sex, but then is like, fuck this. And then she meets with her mother, and she meets with various other lovers, and the like mother of a lover, maybe, or jilted fiance, and then her boyfriend. And in all of the meetings, it's the loneliness of like this character and the fact that she can't find connection with strangers or with people who know her intimately is sort of the sadness of the film. And it's 127 minutes long. I think it's not as long as Jean Dillman, but it's very long, and it's very in that sort of vein in terms of pacing and um, showing you of the things that aren't necessarily cinematic, but are very telling of the character and the story that Akerman wants to share with us. These were great films. This is a really great set. It's an Eclipse series, so it's cheaper than your regular Criterion. And if you buy it, what I do is I wait until Criterion has sales. And the thing is, guys, Criterion.com has a sale every February and every roughly October, without fail. For the last 4 or 5 years, at least, since I've been buying Criterions, they've done that. And if you spend $500, you get a $50 gift certificate. It took me 5 years or 4 years or something to do that because I only bought during the February and October sales. But it's worth it. And then Barnes & Noble always does a month-long sale in July, or 3 weeks or something in July. And then they usually have a pop-up sale sometime in November. So there are 4 times a year where you can buy Criterion's 50% off. 4 times a year, at least. During those times, I recommend you buy Eclipse series things because you get a bunch of films. There's like 4 or 5 films on here. Yeah, there's 5 films on here, and you get it for half price. So do that. You can also, like I said, buy the Varda set, well priced. They've got a bunch of other great things that you can get, like I watched that Marya, all those shorts that are on Monsoon Wedding. Monsoon Wedding is like $20 normally, or $30 or something, and you get it for $15. You get 7 short films with it. It's amazing. Same with Fish Tank. Fish Tank comes with 3 short films on it. Like, look at what you're doing, and get the most for your 50% off Criterion investment. It will pay off. I promise. So this was Tu Il Elle and rendez-vous de Anna. I'm not going to speak any more French for the rest of the year. I am, however, going to watch one more Criterion, not tomorrow. I have something for tomorrow that I'm going to try to watch. We'll see. And then the last film of the year is going to be Larisa Shepepko's The Ascent. That's how I'm going to end the year. It's been a great year. We got a couple more days. Ah, yeah.